Hi, Siri. I'm looking for a new podcast, one that preferably is hosted by a UF Hall of Famer, one that airs every weekday that would bring me everything I need to know about the Florida Gators, including news, analysis, and opinions. Siri, is there such a show?
Have you heard of PodUp with Matthews in the morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or any podcast platform?
Oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that? UF Hall of Famer Shane Matthews has a show every weekday. I'm gonna go check it out tomorrow. Thanks, Siri.
Good morning. Live edition of PodUp with Matthews in the morning from the International Diamond Center Studios. Locations across the state of Florida, right there in Celebration Point in the heart of Gator Nation. Go check out the good folks at International Diamond Center. We got JC today. We'll also have Edgar Thompson for the Orlando Sentinel. We'll get his thoughts on all the Todd Golden rumors, although they've kind of shut those down. Also, spring football practice is in full force after spring break. Go to the Titan Number Hotline courtesy of Comfort Temp. JC, what's up?
Well, I'm trying to fight off this cold and getting ready to.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to fly tomorrow. I know that's not something that a lot of people are eager to do these days.
Wear a mask, JC, if you're sick.
I'm not. It's just I just took a little Vicks Dayquil. I'll be fine. And I'm looking at the brackets. So we got, I got golf coming up this weekend. I'm planning a tournament up in Mississippi. You may have heard of it. And then we've got basketball Thursday and Friday night. Baseball team for Florida's chance to get back on the track against Arkansas this weekend, so that's going to be big. I know the guys up in Mississippi love watching baseball. Mississippi State's pretty good this year.
Last night,
yeah, Gators did beat the semis. That's a good thing to try to rebound off the terrible weekend. So they got a chance. I mean, they got a chance to come on strong and see if they can do anything with a very good team up in Fayetteville. So that'll be a test for them, and it'll be a good one. And then, like I said,
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, the guys up in Mississippi, they love their Rebels. They love their Bulldogs. We'll probably have baseball on in the hospitality room, QB. They love watching that stuff. LSU.
Well, Mississippi State's outstanding this year.
Yeah, they are. Pitching. They got pitching.
They got hitting. They run-rolled Southern Miss, who's a top-ranked team as well.
There you go.
Okay. By the way, your Alabama Crimson Tide are in the top 25 in baseball.
It's first time I've seen them show up in that. I guess that's what'll happen when you sweep somebody. But 3-3 for them. They've got a very good Auburn team. Man, the SEC. When you look at the SEC in baseball, it's madness. And the power rankings are out, and Florida has a chance to come back up into the power rankings. They're in the bottom fourth of the SEC right now. So hopefully that will switch over after this weekend. Midweek games are great, but like you said, nobody really factors into those midweek games, although it's good to beat Florida State.
The only midweek games that matter are Florida State.
Yeah, it's good to beat Florida State. Speaking of Florida State, QB, since you mentioned Florida State, I saw something yesterday about the ACC football projections for the winner of the conference next year, according to FanDuel, which is a very notable and reputable, gaming site. And who, obviously, you would expect who to be the favorite to win the ACC next year. It would be Miami, correct?
Clemson Tigers.
It would be Miami, and that's okay. They're minus 135. Clemson's 16-1. Florida State, since you mentioned them and since I brought it up, is 13th at 35-1. So Mike Norvell's he's already on the hot seat, and it's probably going to get hotter after this year. They just don't have. I guess they just don't have the reloading capability that they may have used to have, that they used to probably have back in the 90s. They just can't do it anymore. 35.
Here's what's crazy, JC.
They're behind Georgia Tech.
Miami. I think I'm about 98% sure this is facts. Miami has never won the ACC since they've gone into that conference.
That's right. And they've never played in the championship game. How about that? I mean, it's crazy.
Speaking of college football, Andy's question on Facebook Live brought to you by Mel and Law. Did you see that some mock drafts have Ty Simpson being drafted ahead of Fernando Mendoza? Is that surprising? No. I mean, look, I think both of them have a chance to be good pros. I think a lot of it depends on what teams they go to. But I thought Ty Simpson had a really good year. I think Fernando obviously had a really good year as well.
I'd say he had a really good year.
I apologize, Andy. I don't follow the draft that closely.
Yeah.
We'll just see what happens.
They've got Ty Simpson to Arizona late in the first round. And I okay. I think anybody would be better than Kyler Murray. Thought he was horrible. And they overpaid him. That killed their salary cap issues. And for some reason, Minnesota thinks that Kyler Murray's going to get him somewhere. But at any rate,
he's better than J.J. McCarthy, in my opinion.
We'll see. Probably. I don't know. I mean, they had Sam Darnold, but that's old news. I think Ty Simpson will go somewhere in the first round, but we'll see. He had some really good games last year. He took a beating with a terrible offensive line. He had zero, and I mean zero run support. That was one of the worst Alabama offenses running the football I think I've ever seen since the 80s. I swear to God, that was so bad. And nobody could hit the edge. Nobody could pop the hole. Nobody could break away. It was horrendous watching them play offense. So somehow they beat Oklahoma in a playoff game. Don't ask me how. But Ty Simpson probably had a lot to do with it.
Yeah. We got some people here chiming in on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, about Scheffler withdrawing from the golf tournament. Yeah, his wife is due to have their second child, I guess, this weekend possibly, or any moment. So, JC, we're going to get to our Peachland Dental picks here in just a second. Is this the golf tournament where they're going to shoot like 29 under par?
I don't think so. This is the one at the Woodlands that used to be the Shell Houston Open. It's now called the Texas Children's.
So what is the one out in Dallas that is at the resort?
That's at the
resort course.
That is the Craig's Ranch. It's the Byron Nelson, and it used to be played at Las Colinas. It's now at Craig's Ranch. However, I was just out there 2 weeks ago. I was hobnobbing around a bunch of golf courses because I just love going and touring some of the Dallas metro area golf courses. I just literally pull up to these golf courses, walk into the pro shop, look around, see if I want to buy something. And since I'm a member of the invited clubs, they have many of those over there, and I just go over there and put everything on my account. But anyway, some of these places are private. Las Colinas is part of that club network, but Craig's Ranch is not. But I was told that at Craig's Ranch, where Scheffler shot 33 under last year, I think, to win the tournament, they're going to create some rough. They're going to try to defend the course a little bit better, and maybe they'll cut those scores in half. I doubt it, but maybe they will. It's so wide open out there, QB. It's like basically there are zero trees. Water is never a fact. Water is not a factor out there, and length is not a factor out there because these guys are so long. The ball flies out in Texas, so that course has no defense. But they're going to grow the rough, so maybe some wayward drives.
My question, what I'm asking, after your long answer, when is that golf tournament?
Well, I mean, QB, you want to look at the calendar and tell me, or I'll do it for you.
So it has to be next. I thought they have two stops in Texas, but anyway, regardless.
Oh, no, next week. Well, QB, don't be in such a hurry here. Next week they're going to be at the Valero. Okay, that's over in San Antonio, and then they're going to be the Byron Nelson's not until May. But next week, they're going to be in San Antonio at the Canyons course. That's the Valero Texas Open. And then we come to Augusta. So, it's 2 weeks in Texas. They'll come back to Texas.
Back to Texas. I thought okay. That's where I was going with this. All right. We got a text here on the Titan MR text line from Rick in Jupiter. He says, it sounds like we've got a legit quarterback competition going on. I've got some golf buddies who are split. Some are Team Philo, some are Team Trammell. And honestly, I think that's kind of weird. As a Gator fan, I just want the best guy to win the job. What do you make of that, and what are your thoughts of the competition so far? Look, I'm with you, Rick. I don't care who our quarterback is, as long as he plays quarterback the way quarterback needs to play and throw completions.
Yeah.
If you throw completions with this crew, you're gonna be successful. And I've said from day one, I thought it was definitely going to be a quarterback competition. I think some people, when Summerall got here, didn't believe that or wanted to be handed the job. That's not the case. He's going to play the guy that they think gives them the best chance of winning. And I personally don't care if it's Trammell. I don't care if it's Aaron Follow. Do not care at all. But there is a competition going on. Daryl says on the Titan MR text line, it was a nasty night at the ballpark in Jacksonville, but the Gators got it done, and we own Miami and FSU. That's true. We're undefeated against them this year. Got one more game against the semis later in the year in Tallahassee. All right, JC, let's go ahead and get to our Peachland Dental. We'll talk more about spring ball and Todd Golden and basketball and all that stuff. Hubert Davis was fired last night.
You called that. You called that.
You know who I think they should hire?
Tell me.
Mark Byington from Vanderbilt.
Yeah. I mean, what a job.
I think he's a hell of a coach. What a job.
What a job he's done. Yeah.
I would either hire him or I would hire TJ Otzenberger from Iowa State.
TJ is he's busy right now. You like them against Tennessee? I think
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If they won the national title, you just wait because you're in no hurry.
Yeah.
To hire your basketball coach right now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So they will be going back to Texas, by the way, QB, for the Colonial, Fort Worth, and this Byron Nelson. Yeah. That's in May.
Okay. So this will be a good tournament this weekend then.
I think so.
Peachland Dental picks Gator Nation's #1 choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte and surrounding areas. Go check them out at peachlanddental.com. All right, who you got, JC? You go first.
QB on the fast break offense this morning. You're Iowa's who you are right now. Let's go with Jake Knapp. At some point, Jake's got to break through.
You picked him every week.
Yeah, until he breaks through. I mean, he's been giving me good results, except when they went to Florida, he disappeared literally. So,
all right, well, give me Chris Gotterup.
Yeah. Oh man,
this is the kind of course he tears up.
Yeah, he'll destroy this place. I think I'm going to take a guy that neither of us have picked this whole season so far, but he hits it as far as anybody. He's from Britain. His name is Marco Penge, and Marco can hit the ball 380 yards. I mean, he's a monster. He stands upright and just destroys the golf ball. Had a good tournament at Valspar. I like his form. I'm taking Marco from Britain.
All right, you are writing these down, right?
I am.
Okay, thank you. I will take the Stanford Cardinal, Michael Thorbjornsen.
That was my next pick, you jabroni. Oh, gosh, you took my guy. All right, well, that's kind of funny that you would do that. But give me Adam.
I take him all the time.
You do. I'm going to go with Adam Scott, QB. Give me Adam Scott. I like his game here lately. Adam Scott.
All right, I will take one of the twins. And I will take Nikolai Hogard.
Yeah, a lot of folks like him this weekend. Don't know really why, but they like him. Okay, so you get Nikolai.
You're studying it, sounds like.
Yeah, a lot of guys like him, man. Something about the way he's played the last couple of weeks. All right, I'm gonna go with a long hitter who has really kind of played well this year. I think he's been in a couple of top 10s, top 5, and finished a runner-up this year. That's Min Woo Lee. Give me Min Woo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Min Woo knocks
right, give me the semi.
That ball. Okay.
Give me the old semi I used to pick all the time. I'll take Koepka.
Yeah, okay. I think this is the first time you've taken him this year. So you've got Gotterup.
I had to make sure he got back into a competitive spirit.
He's there. I think he's there.
Several tournaments.
I think he's there. His putter's coming around. Again, a good weekend last weekend. He's just tuning up for the Masters, QB. So you got Gotterup, Thorbjornsen, Højgaard, and Brooks. I've got Knapp, Penge, Scott, and Min Woo Lee. There you have it.
Okay. That's the Peachland Dental picks for the Texas Children's Houston Open.
Yeah, that's
Should be a fun tournament to watch.
Memorial Park Golf Course. At the Woodland. I think it's at the Woodlands. I want to say that's where they play it. So that's north.
JC Barone 71 on YouTube wants to know how long was the wait for TSA in Dallas. He has to fly. He wants to know how early he's got to get to the airport.
Good news for you, Barone. When I got there on that Sunday morning, We got there 3 hours in advance. I literally walked through in a minute and a half. It did. I think the morning lines were much better than the afternoon, but those people were there at work. Now that was over a week and a half ago. So things might have changed since then. This is going to be their third paycheck they're not going to receive this weekend, and it is completely asinine that in this country we are dealing with this because people are trying to make political statements, but that's the people we elect, it seems. So we have that to deal with, and I think he's going to be okay. Dallas has not been nearly as bad as New Orleans or as bad as Atlanta or Orlando or Newark. Some of these airports, just some of the locations have just basically gone on strike, basically. And others, I think regional airports, like I'm flying out of Gainesville, I have no fear of that. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I'm going through Atlanta, but I'm not going through TSA. The only thing that can screw me there is if the Delta Airlines literally cancels the flight. I think I'll take my chances because after driving 6 hours to Biloxi, I have no desire to go 9 hours to Philadelphia. Hell no. So I'm going to be stuck in an airport, or I'll be there in 3 hours or 4 hours. That's how I'm going to approach it. Either I get there, I don't. And if the golf clubs don't show up, QB, I'll get in a golf cart and come and harass you all day. So,
all right, well, you do that.
I will.
Joseph says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon, Gator baseball is 26-8 in their last 34 games head-to-head against the semis. Pretty good.
I mean, Florida State, everything at Florida State's kind of gone to hell. I mean, everything, not just the football team, but everything has gone to hell. Basketball was a non-factor this year. Baseball seems to be middle of the road in the ACC. I don't even know what they're good at in the spring sports other than maybe softball. I think they're pretty good in softball.
Yeah, they're good. They're good in softball and women's soccer, I think.
But the athletic director there can't be feeling too good about things. They're just not competitive.
Yeah. Another text here on the Tightening Our text line says Kevin Brockway brought up a good point about Golden and UNC sniffing around. His buyout is $16 million right now, but it drops to $11 million on April 15th. To me, that says we need to get another extension locked in before that date. What are y'all's thoughts?
I think Todd likes Gainesville. This is a big opportunity, though, Chapel Hill. I mean, what do you think? I mean, QB, if you were given the same amount of money to coach at either Florida or North Carolina, what would be the choice? I think it depends on where you want to live, where you like to be, the people that you're close to, where your kids go to school. All those things matter. But if you're getting twice as much money or a little bit 1.5 times as much money to go to a place like North Carolina, how would you say no to that?
Yeah, it's hard. You know, I don't know how I would phrase that because you know, I got to take the orange and blue glasses off.
Well, that's what I just did.
You went to neither school, JC, so it's easier. Yeah, it's easier for you to say. Look,
I went to Florida, QB. I was a Florida person.
That's right. That's right.
Journalism school.
No, I think what Todd has done, I do think he likes living in Gainesville. I mean, he's a really good basketball coach.
Yes, he is.
North Carolina is it's a scary, when that job comes open, I think everybody that has a top-notch coach gets scared to death.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's an opportunity to do something at one of the most traditional college basketball schools ever. But right now they are watching. And I'll tell you who's not watching. Nebraska and Iowa are not watching. Nebraska is the most bet underdog to win in the Sweet 16. They beat, Iowa beat Florida as a 10-point underdog in the round of 32. But, excuse me, let me switch that. It was Iowa who's the most bet team in the Sweet 16. The Hawkeyes, the 7th team since 2002 and 2003 to play a game in the Sweet 16 or later off a double-digit spread upset. Here's another fun fact for you. The Duke Blue Devils, every year they've won the national championship. In every single season that they've won the national championship, at some point in their year, they beat St. John's in that season. They play St. John's at 7 o'clock on Friday. That's another fun fact for you. But they don't have that Foster kid, I think is his name, the guard. I think that's going to matter when St. John's locks up the defense against Duke. Low scoring game. I
Do
don't
you
know.
remember? I picked St. John's to go to the Final Four, but
You
do
did.
remember one comment I said?
What
You
was
remember
that?
one comment I said that scared them about what scared me about them?
Yeah.
They had trouble scoring at times, and they went about 8
Yeah.
minutes the other day
Yeah.
and couldn't score.
Well, do that against Duke and you'll lose for sure.
Yeah, but they're more athletic than Duke, man. I think they're going to beat Duke. I think they're more physical than Duke.
Yeah.
And I think they're way more athletic than Duke. Now, skill wise, they can't shoot like Duke, but they're going to get up in Duke's face.
Well,
and, I'll take Rick Pitino.
Well, at 7:10 Eastern, 6:10, where we're going to be, we can watch that game on Friday night. It's the first game that's being played on Friday, and it's at 6:00 Central Time. So we'll be rooting for St. John's. I absolutely will be rooting for Pitino. By the way, Pitino is 12-1 QB, 12-1 in the Sweet 16. John Calipari is 12-4 in the Sweet 16. Tommy Lloyd of Arizona is 0-3 in the Sweet 16. Does that mean anything? Not at all. But
no.
but those are some interesting trends. Look, I mean, you're going to war with one of the greats of all time in Rick Pitino. You got to like your shot there. Same thing with Calipari. I mean, he is a winner. He's 12-4 in the Sweet 16. He's got a national championship. He's brought Arkansas literally from the bottom of the heap to a very high finish last year in the Elite Eight. They're back in the Sweet 16. If they can pull it off against Arizona, who's going to get in their way? Acuff, now they're saying could be the top pick. I don't know his size.
I've been saying that from day one.
Yeah, but then the critics would be, well, maybe not the top pick because of his size or the way he plays defense. Nobody in the NBA cares how he plays defense. Well, I'm just saying this is what people are when they scrutinize who's going to go top pick or who's going to be the top three. He's going to be in there, but he's not going to be in there on Thursday night at 9:45. He's going to be in San Jose. And he's going to play against an Arizona team that is ready to go. And he's going to have to be at his very best because Arizona's no joke. I got them winning the whole damn thing. Not that matters, but the fact is that Arkansas is up against it. The two best games that I'm looking forward to the most are Arizona, Arkansas on Thursday, and Illinois, Houston right there at the same time at 10 o'clock, of course. They have to play these games damn near at midnight, it seems like. And Illinois, Houston, I think in Houston will be tremendous to watch. I also think Michigan State, UConn will be a great game to watch. And I really am looking forward to seeing Tennessee and Iowa State. I think these are great games to watch. I'm almost happy that we don't have a 12 seed or a 15 seed in this thing. I want to see the best of the best. That's the way it seems to be going now in basketball, and I'm okay with it.
3 Heisman's, 2 events, 1 legendary day. Join Steve Spurrier, Danny Werfel, Tim Tebow Monday, March 30th at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill for the Florida Legends Gala and Experience. Visit and get tickets and sponsorship information at fllegends.com.
Yeah.
All right. We got a text on the Titan More text line from Kevin wants to know, do y'all think Billy Donovan would take the North Carolina job?
I think if he was asked, he would absolutely consider that. Yeah. I mean, well, how is life so great in where is he right now? Chicago? Is that where he's at?
The Bulls, yeah.
God, that's the team's not even going to make the playoffs this year. I mean, how's that fun? Money can't be an issue. You got to get back in the spirit of things and get back into the competitive balance. Coaching the Bulls is not that. Living in that miserable state of Illinois where you lose half of what you earn is not fun. It can't be. It can't be. The weather's horrible. Who the hell wants to live there? You can go to Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and reemerge as a college coach. Why the hell wouldn't you do that? Especially if you're a guy like Billy Donovan, who's won 2 natties. That's my take. I don't have any idea, but that's how I would think about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's been talk about him calling it quits or what have you after this year with the Bulls, and I don't know if that means going into retirement, going into he could go into TV. You know, who knows?
I guess. You know how coaches are. You know how coaches are, QB. That's what they do.
No, I know exactly how coaches are.
Yeah,
exactly how they are, and I think he'd be a great fit at North Carolina.
QB, the Barone, one of our best, What were you guys up to during the Final Four run of '94? I actually covered the games. I was in the Charlotte at the Hive where the Charlotte Hornets played, and I was there covering that game, that magical team with Lon Kruger in '94. Went all the way through the whole tournament. We went with them up to Long Island, New York, where they won, then advancing to Miami, where they won, and then Final Four, where they got screwed by Grant Hill and the Duke Blue Devils. I'll never forget it. It was Arkansas, Arizona, Florida, and Duke, and Duke. Who won that? It was either Duke or Arkansas. Arkansas won it. Yes, Arkansas won it with Nolan Richardson over the Duke Blue Devils. That's right.
40 minutes of hell, baby.
Yep, Arkansas won it, and I tell you, this was good. That was a great Final Four, and that's when they played them in the basketball arenas, not the football stadium. So the atmosphere was so much better. I think it's tremendous. '94 was the start. I'll never forget it. Lon Kruger, we did it all, man. I loved covering that basketball team. I was the only credentialed media member from the state of Florida, which meant every single TV station used my video that came out of our cameras and our sound bites uplinked on CONUS, which was the WJXT Channel 4 satellite truck. Everybody piggybacked off our video. So basically, if you watch the sports segment in the local news at 6 o'clock in those days, you saw the same video that I showed on TV 20 because I basically just sent them the same thing I did when I cut it up and edited it. So the same broadcast throughout the whole state of Florida because nobody was credentialed. I was the only credentialed media guy out of the whole state because nobody went to the first round because nobody thought Florida was going to win anything. I was the only guy that went up to Long Island, New York. And Reese Davis, my buddy from college, I bailed him out. He was in Columbus, Georgia. And I said, Reese's camera broke. I said, here you go, Reese, take this. And they went and copied it. And so we had the same video in Georgia, in Columbus, Georgia, for old Reese. But I tell you, it was a great time, '94, man. I'll never forget that trip, and I'll never forget that run they had. If it wasn't for Grant Hill, the Gators would have been in the final game against Arkansas.
Wasn't that the year that UConn missed 2 free throws?
Yep, it sure was. Donyell Marshall.
Yeah.
And that was down my
Marshall.
Donyell. I tell you, the Gators are the biggest beneficiary of teams that miss their free throws. Last year, Texas Tech did it, and then that year, UConn did it. Yep, that's right. You're a good memory, QB.
It caught up to us because we missed our free throw at the end of the game. We went 1 for 2, and it allowed them to go down and knock down a 3 to win it. Joseph says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mello, there's only 2 perfect brackets left in the world. Are they lucky or just good? Oh, it's all lucky.
Crazy.
All luck.
Crazy. To win those games in the round of 32 is pretty impressive. To pick Iowa to win, that's pretty impressive. Alabama to get this far, I think it was impressive because I think most people had Alabama losing in the second round. Tennessee, maybe same thing, to Virginia. But, there is not a high-seeded Cinderella left in my mind. There's no double-digit seeds left. So if there's no double-digit seeds left, it's chalk fest, just like last year. And we've got 3 number ones left.
Well,
Tim Brando says not one's going to make it. I think he's crazy.
Well, you're not going to see the Cinderellas anymore, JC, not with NIL. Because all the good players,
I agree.
like the Steph Currys of the world, like back when Davidson made their little run, the following year, if he doesn't go to the NBA, he is going to a major Power 4 school getting paid a lot of money. So that's
right.
All right.
Have
a good trip, JC. We'll see you. We got to get to Edgar and talk about the Gators.
Good. All right.
That's JC. Join us on the Tight Number Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. Quick timeout. We'll come back. We'll be joined by Orlando Sentinel's Edgar Thompson. You're watching and listening to PodUp with Matthews in the Morning from the International Diamond Center Studios. We'll be right back.
Our premium sponsors are Atlantic Roofing, Campus USA Credit Union, International Diamond Center, J.F. Hayden's Craft Liqueurs, Los Landeros Tequila, Meldon Law, Titan MRI and Imaging, Castaway Sauce, UF Health Orthopedics, Michael Snyder PLLC, Florida Legends Gala and Experience, South State Bank, Gridiron sponsors are Baker Sports, Florida Cracker Oyster, Electronics World, Gallo Car Wash, Neapolatin Cafe, Peachland Dental, Quality Plumbing, Rue's Ogre State Farm, Silverback Concrete, 84 Lumber, Big Mills Cheesesteaks, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Florida Cracker Kitchen, Gator Dominoes, Ironwood Golf Course, McDonald's of Gainesville, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, UF Bookstores, International Gold and Diamond Exchange, Advocare, MGNA Wealth, Comfort Temp. Watch and listen to us live on Facebook or YouTube. Listen to podcasts wherever on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And to advertise, be sure to call my man Freddie at 352-284-3733.
Naysayers. Setbacks. Injuries. Life throws a lot of hurdles your way. The key is just keep jumping them.
Coach, you know, it always impressed me how you beat Florida State to win the 1996 National Championship.
And I was really impressed with your 06, 08, and 09 Gator teams.
And the way you coached Danny to the Heisman Trophy.
A lot like what you did with Tim Tebow.
You know, you won more SEC championships than you lost home games at the Swamp.
And you had plenty of super games in front of our Gator Nation.
Yeah, there really is something special about the Swamp.
I guess that's why we say about the Swamp, only the Gators get out alive.
To the Swamp and the Gators, with the best beverage served at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. 100% agave, Los Landeros tequila. Aged in bourbon barrels for a smoother taste.
I think you mean Head Beer Coach 1966 lager, a crisp, light, bodied lager for easy drinking.
Nope. Los Landeros tequila, smooth enough to drink neat, bold enough to elevate a cocktail.
1966 lager, enjoyed on game days in the fall or whenever you need a winning cold brew.
Los Landeros tequila.
1966 lager.
Los Landeros.
1966 lager.
Y'all stop bickering.
Okay, you're both wrong anyway. The best thing Spurrier's Gridiron Grill offers are Jerry's famous chocolate chip cookies.
By now, you heard about the Florida Legends Experience in Gala, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Warfel, and Steve Spurrier, all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at fllegends.com. That's fllegends.com.
Going back to the International Diamond Center Studios, when Urban Meyer wanted to introduce his high-quality tequila to the Gator Nation, he made sure to get it to the HBC and his team at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill and Dorn's Liquors. Go beyond with smooth Los Landeros tequila. Back to the Titan More Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. Edgar Thompson from the Orlando Sentinel. What's up, Edgar? How you doing, buddy?
Other than being completely technologically challenged, I'm fine.
Well, we all are.
Can you put me...
Edgar.
Hey, can our producer, buddy, can he put us, I mean, I'm like in the little teeniest corner up in the top. Can we do a split screen here or something?
I can't even see any of that. So, all right, Edgar. So let's briefly talk about men's basketball. There's been a lot of conversation about pressing at the end of the last play of the game, what have you. Just your thoughts on that and what Todd had to say.
It was an aggressive strategy and it didn't pay off. Look, I'm not going to sit here and question Todd Golden, but I will praise Ben McCollum. I mean, that guy's a legit coach. You go look at his background. I mean, 4 national titles at the Division II level. I don't care where you win in those. That's impressive. Mm-hmm. And then 1 year at Drake, gets him to the second round for the first time since probably Lewis Lloyd or something. I mean, if anybody even knows who that is. Played for the Rockets, but he led the nation in scoring. We're talking 40 years ago. And I don't even know if he won a game. But yeah, the guy's good and had the Gators on their heels with the pick and roll, the physicality, obviously playing in the Big Ten. It's not the, brawl ball of 5 years ago, but that is a physical league, more so probably than the SEC across the board. I mean, this is the ninth place team in the Big Ten that just beat the SEC regular season champions. Now, Florida wasn't playing as well down the stretch, maybe. When the Vanderbilt game was kind of like a little bit of a cause for concern, I guess. I don't think Thomas Houck has been fully healthy the last few weeks with his foot, and that maybe showed a little bit. I'm not making excuses for Florida, but I'm just kind of taking an autopsy here of what happened. But then when you get to the end of the game, Florida had the momentum. After Lee had that kind of runaway layup, who I thought played great the other night. I mean, Xavier Lee really came on as the season went on. I thought he was a very reliable, good player. His decision on that last play, I mean, you can question it. I mean, it's a heat of the moment thing. I wish he tried to attack rather than make the decision he did. And I think Todd thought the same. But in terms of the press, I mean, yeah, their best players starts, and you just got a run out, and then you just lost the Spaniard in the corner. And they lost shooters a number of times. That coach kid, or Koch, or however you say it, my Lord, I was calling him Jimmy Chitwood to Bianchi. I mean, the first shot that kid hit, I looked at Mike and said, that guy, all he's been doing is shooting baskets for 15 years. I mean, that kid was just a pure shooter. I mean, he got that. He was like Larry Bird. I mean, that ball's in his hands and gone from long range and just ripping. I mean, he had 4 threes in the second half. They hit their first 7 shots, the Hawkeyes, in the second half. You 2 rallies, though, 10 down, 12 down. I had people in my timeline saying the team's soft and all this stuff. I'm like, they fought back from double-digit deficits twice. They showed a lot of grit, a lot of fight, I thought. Chinyalu was a mystery. Knowing his background upon his arrival, seeing his development, one of the things with him is frustration, fouls when he gets frustrated. He's an emotional player. That emotion had elevated him to, honestly, one of the biggest, jumps of any player in the country this year. I mean, right? The guy went from a solid player to an elite defender and the best rebounder in Power Conference, statistically, and did nothing. Just went into a hole. I don't think he was hurt. So, and then Houck not hitting a field goal for 26 minutes. There was just a lot of issues that, combined for them to lose a game by 1 point on a last second shot. So it was a tough loss, man. I mean, it was like, I had my flight booked to Houston already, man. I was ready to roll. I thought I'd be in Houston to at press conferences.
Johnny on the Titan MR text line, Edgar asked your thoughts on the rumors of Todd Golden, or they're not rumors, but we know North Carolina's going to make a phone call. Concerns, I guess. He's got it's long-winded, so I tried to paraphrase it.
Yeah, I mean, there are concerns because he's a hot commodity. I mean, despite that loss and despite the fact that his team was kind of outmaneuvered a good part of that game. I go into this tournament going, I mean, this guy's a top 5 coach. But then you see it's like PGA Tour, right? Yeah, I mean, Scotty, Rory, whatever. There are a lot of guys who can win, man. There are a lot of elite golfers. There are a lot of elite coaches. You don't come up the ranks like this guy did all the years he put into the D2 level. and gets to this point, he's worked his ass off, and he's an excellent coach, Ben McCollum. So Todd is still one of the best, and his track record's amazing at age 40. I mean, under 50, it's him and John Schreier. I mean, probably. I mean, if McCollum does more, maybe toss him in there. But I guess what I'm saying is, so he's going to be pursued, you would think, but Florida is going to do what it takes to keep him. I mean, it's clear he's going to be getting another raise, and they just need to lock the guy up. And what he's created here in terms of the environment, his ability to build rosters, put out an exciting product. I mean, they're fun to watch. Even though they're not, I mean, scoring 72 points or whatever, it's fun. It's fun style of basketball still, for the most part. I mean, right, they're fun team. So he's going to do some retention potentially with this roster. I wouldn't be stunned to see some guys come back, maybe, that you think are leaving. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think a bunch of them should come back, quite honestly. All right. So yesterday, or maybe it was Monday, the Gators hired a new women's basketball coach. We know how women's basketball has gone. Tammy Reese, what do you think of her?
My Lord. I mean, it's like I told Scott Strickland, all interview team over there now. You got Todd, who's just a machine in front of the mic. It's so engaging, accessible. John Summerall, fantastic. I mean, right, he's won the press conference every time he gets up there. Just a normal dude, clever, confident. She might be better than any of them. She gets up there and she's just engaging, energetic, sharp, accomplished. What a story. I mean, the woman owned a bar for 10 years. She was an excellent player in college. She went to University of Virginia, which is back in my stomping ground. She was backcourt mate with Dawn Staley on 3 Final Four teams. She, has had success at various schools, San Diego State, Syracuse, and she goes to Rhode Island. That was she called it a dog, and never done anything. They won 28 games last year. So, this past year. Got to the NCAA tournament. So she's accomplished. She was just wonderful. She told a story about her 6th grade mentor, this guy, Mr. T. 5th grade, Tammy Reese, little tomboy, basketball in her hand, 24/7. He gets her in his class for the 6th grade year, takes the ball, sticks it in the closet, says, until you become an A student, you're not seeing that basketball again. So she makes a 4-0, gets the ball. He starts training her. She said, didn't score for a year, and he broke my nose 3 times. And he was 6'7", which comes to light. I'm thinking he looked like me, some professorial, kind of nerdy guy, right? So it was a great story. I talked to her afterwards. I said, your nose looks pretty nice, because she's been in movies too. I forgot that element. She's an actress. And she has a wife who she introduced last night, Crystal, and as her better half, or yesterday afternoon. I mean, she's, she's just a multifaceted, interesting, engaging person. And she's like, look, all practices are open door policy, whatever you need. She is going to promote this program. She's going to raise funds. She talked about it. She raised $338,000 this last year at Rhode Island. She will be out there. The community will get to know her. I'm sure they'll get to like her. The question is, will she win in a rugged league? And will she put some fannies in the seats for a team that draws the fewest fans in the SEC at 1,700 or something? If she can turn that into a bit of a happening over there and put a fun product and a winning product out there, I think the community will get behind it.
Yeah, we'll see. It's an uphill battle, but as you said, she's got great things to say about her, and I'm looking forward to seeing what she can build. All right, we got a ton of football questions, Edgar. They started back.
Well, one
after
last thing
spring
on her,
break.
Shane. One last thing, I'm sorry, is she said everything she asked for in terms of NIL support, budget, etc. When Scott Strickland ain't blank. He wants to make this work, and he's giving her every chance, every opportunity to do so. But yes, football.
All right, so obviously there's all this talk about the quarterback battle, but having come back from spring break, what has John Summerall had to say to you guys in pressers?
He was funny. He's like, "Yep, these guys definitely went on spring break. They had a good time." He said they were not, didn't have the energy and focus that he would have liked to have seen in practice 6, but it improved as it went. And his standards are high, and he is, he's not messing around over there. I mean, he knows he's got, you talk about uphill. I mean, he's got an uphill challenge over there, given the last 5 seasons at Florida. So, I mean, the quarterback's talked. I mean, that's the big thing. We've been waiting to talk to him. Tramel Jones, incredibly impressive. Just turned 19 years old, I think, in December. Quiet confidence, as Summerall says about him. I mean, this is a real QB competition. This isn't like a Coronation Marin Philo, despite his Buster Faulkner, background. He certainly has an inside track in terms of knowing the offense and the playbook. But they're both, good decision makers, throw good football, catchable footballs. And let's look, they got great receivers around them. I mean, Singleton, Vernell Brown's having a great camp by all accounts. Micah Mays, who you identified right at the start, I mean, he's getting a ton of buzz. I mean, he's been a real revelation. Bailey Stockton wasn't just a Buster Faulkner guy just came along, and he's impacting. And Dallas Wilson's finally running again, or whatever, light jogging. He's out of his boot. So if he can get healthy, we know what he can be. So they're going to have guys to throw to. They're going to have guys to hand the ball off to. Jaden Baugh is a beast, we know, but London Montgomery, the ECU transfer, is generating buzz. Evan Pryor, the offensive line apparently is coming along nicely. We'll see. I mean, again, they scrimmage Saturday, and Summerall's eager to see that because he's going to start, finding out some things about, the physicality truly of this team. And defensively, I mean, there's a lot of questions over there, but a lot of pieces, promising ones. Kermani McLean's generating some good reviews. LJ McCray got a mention yesterday. Aaron Childs, who I expect big things from this year. He's changed his body. The kid has just got all the physical tools you could want, and I think he could be a real impact player. So, yeah, I mean, it's exciting to see how it all comes together, but I mean, this is just the embryonic stages of building a football team right now, 6 practices into spring.
Yeah, I think offensively they can be outstanding. The one practice I went to, I don't remember which one it was, but the first person that stood out to me was Micah Mays. I was like, who is this number 5 guy? And had no idea he was the kid from Wake Forest, but I like him a lot. Defensively, though, I mean, you can't really tell in practice. That's where my concern is, Edgar. I think we'll be a more physical defense, but we got to find some dudes over there that can disrupt the quarterback from the opposing teams, and hopefully they can find those guys. But defensively is where my biggest concerns are. Whether that's right or wrong, that's just my personal opinion.
Well, Mbachu returned yesterday, encouraging, and this guy put on like 30 pounds, but he's one of those guys, you saw him from the beginning. He's just got one of those physiques that, like, he looks at the weights and puts on 5 pounds of muscle. I mean, he's like a machine in terms of just like, I mean, his physique. I mean, he's an Adonis, and he's up in the 320s now. But Bet, he mentioned, and I liked Bet last year. Albeit has had his incident against USF that people keep bringing up, but I don't know. I mean, whatever, move on. But I thought was pretty good last year, and they talked about him. We know Miles Graham. I think their front seven actually could be pretty good. I mean, I don't know what the depth is. I mean, McLeod was good. Jaden Woods, obviously, he's been generating a bunch of buzz. It'd be negligent not to mention him. So we'll see, man. I mean, again, there's a scrimmage Saturday. There's another one the following Saturday. Then you have the spring game on the 11th, I believe. And on moving day of the Masters. I don't know why they keep doing this to me, but they do it. But yeah, it's look, a lot of questions, and we still won't have answers on April 11th. But again, promising because Summerall is impressive. The staff is better than it's been, probably by a long way. The strength program's in good hands with Rusty Witt, it appears. So, I mean, they're trending. But again, you're in the SEC. Tammy Reese, she could be great, but she's also in the toughest league in the country. So it's hard to make, it's hard to gain ground in the SEC when you're rebuilding.
We just got a text on the Tatumar text line. It says, saw Lagwood practicing at Beta. Looks like he's even regressed even more. You can catch the clips on Twitter. Yeah, he's not I don't really care.
We'll see. I actually think the kid's good, but we'll see how he turns out. He's
yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, I hope he's great. But I like our two quarterbacks. I think I'm gonna throw a bunch of completions. Edgar, good stuff as always. Let everybody know they can follow you on Twitter.
OS Gators, this thing's already over. My Lord, it felt like we just started.
Yep, it flies by. Edgar, appreciate your time. We'll talk to you soon, my man.
All right, man. Thank you, Shane. Talk to you.
That's Edgar Thompson. Join us on the Titanum Highline courtesy of Comfort Temp Castaway Hot Sauce Company. From Mile to Wild, they have a flavor for every Gator fan. Available at your local Publix, CastawaySauceCompany.com. Go check them out. I want to thank Edgar and JC for joining the program today. Have a great day, folks. Take care.